Welcome to Echoes of Dharma. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Before we begin, I want you to find your most comfortable position. Whether you're lying in bed, sitting in your favorite chair, or wherever feels right for you, just allow your body to settle. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the weight of the day beginning to lift from your body. If you'd like, you can close your eyes or simply let them soften and rest. There's nothing you need to do right now except listen and allow yourself to receive what's offered. Tonight, I'm going to share something extraordinary with you. For over 1,000 years, Buddhist monks have whispered 5 sacred lines into the darkness before sleep. These aren't just words. They're gentle keys that unlock the deepest chambers of peace within you. These 5 lines have guided countless souls into the most restorative sleep imaginable. And tonight, they can do the same for you. You don't need any experience with meditation or Buddhism. You don't need to believe in anything special. You simply need an open heart and a willingness to receive the peace that is already yours. Take a slow, deep breath with me now. Breathe in whatever peace is available to you in this moment. And as you breathe out, let go of anything from today that no longer needs your attention. Perfect. You're already beginning to create sacred space. As we journey together through these ancient teachings, notice how your body naturally knows how to rest, how to receive, how to find its way home to peace. Let's begin this gentle journey together. As you continue to settle into this peaceful space, let me share with you how these 5 sacred lines were discovered. High in the mountains of ancient Tibet, there lived a wealthy merchant who had everything money could buy. Yet he couldn't buy the one thing he desperately needed: sleep. Night after night, his mind would race with business concerns, future plans, and endless worries. He had tried every remedy, consulted every healer, but peace remained elusive. One winter evening, caught in a sudden snowstorm, he sought shelter at a remote Buddhist monastery. The monks welcomed him warmly, offering simple food and a place by the fire. As darkness fell, he prepared for another sleepless night. But something was different here. He noticed how the monks moved with such calm purpose as they prepared for sleep. There was no rushing, no anxiety about tomorrow. Instead, he heard soft whispers floating through the halls, gentle words spoken like prayers into the darkness. Curious, he approached an elderly monk. "Master," he asked, "what are those words I hear? They seem to carry such peace." 2:0, the old monk smiled. "These are the 5 sacred lines we speak each night. They are not magic spells or complicated mantras. They are simple truths that help the mind release its grip on the day and open to rest." "But I have tried everything," the merchant said. What makes these words different? Come, the monk replied. Let me show you. That night, for the first time in months, the merchant slept deeply. He woke feeling renewed, transformed. The words he learned weren't complex Buddhist philosophy. They were gentle acknowledgements of what the heart already knows about peace. You see, these 5 lines work with something profound in human nature. When we speak certain truths aloud in the quiet darkness, our nervous system recognizes them as signals for deep rest. Our bodies have been waiting for this permission to let go. For over 1,000 years, these lines have been passed from teacher to student, from parent to child, from friend to friend. They work because they address the 5 fundamental barriers that keep us from peaceful sleep: ingratitude, holding on, mental agitation, distrust, and resistance to what I learned. Tonight, as I guide you through each line, you'll discover what that merchant learned in the monastery. You'll understand why these simple words carry such power. Not because they're mystical or magical, 0, 5, but because they speak directly to your body's innate wisdom about rest. Feel how even now, just hearing about this possibility, your breathing is becoming slower and deeper. Your body recognizes the truth in these words. It remembers its natural ability to find peace. The monks understood something we often forget in our busy modern lives. The transition from day to night is sacred. It's not just a biological necessity, it's a spiritual opportunity, an invitation to release what no longer serves and embrace what heals. As we begin to explore the first sacred line together, allow yourself to receive these teachings the way that merchant did, with an open heart and a willingness to discover what you didn't know you already knew about finding peace. Now, as you rest in this growing sense of peace, let me invite you to place one hand gently over your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. This heart has been with you through every moment of today, beating faithfully, carrying you through whatever this day has brought. The first sacred line is simple, yet profound. I am grateful for this day's journey. Let me share with you an ancient Zen story that illuminates the true power of these words. In a small village, there lived a farmer who owned just one horse. One day, his horse ran away. His neighbors came to him saying, "How terrible! What bad luck!" 1, 5. But the farmer simply replied, "Maybe." The next day, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild horses. The neighbors exclaimed, "How wonderful! What good fortune!" Again, the farmer said quietly, "Maybe." The following day, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses and was thrown off, breaking his leg. "How awful!" cried the neighbors. "Maybe," said the farmer. A week later, soldiers came to the village to draft young men for war. They passed by the farmer's son because of his broken leg. "How lucky," the neighbors said. And the farmer? Maybe. This wise farmer understood something profound about the nature of life. He knew that each day is a complete journey of growth and discovery, even when we can't see the larger pattern. What appears to be misfortune may be preparing us for unexpected blessings. What seems like failure may be teaching us essential wisdom. In Zen Buddhism, this understanding is called "don't know mind." It means releasing our need to judge each moment as good or bad, and instead trusting that every experience serves our awakening. As you breathe slowly and deeply, consider your own day's journey. Perhaps there were moments of frustration, times when things didn't go as planned. Maybe you faced unexpected challenges or felt overwhelmed by responsibilities. In this gentle darkness, these experiences are not obstacles to gratitude. They are the very substance of your spiritual growth. Let me tell you about Sarah, a nurse who discovered this truth. She came home exhausted every night, carrying the weight of her patient's pain. Sleep felt impossible because her mind would replay every difficult moment. Then she learned to practice this first sacred line. Instead of fighting her difficult days, she began to honor them. "I am grateful for this day's journey," she would whisper, including the moments that challenged her most. She realized that her compassion had grown deeper through witnessing suffering. Her patience had strengthened through dealing with difficult situations. Her wisdom had expanded through navigating uncertainty. This shift didn't happen overnight, but gradually, something beautiful began to occur. Her nervous system started to relax as she spoke these words each night. Instead of carrying the day's stress into sleep, she was completing each day with love. You see, gratitude is not about pretending everything was perfect. It's about recognizing that you survived this day. You showed up. You did your best with what you knew. You loved as much as you were able. You learned something, even if you're not sure what it was yet. The Buddhist teaching tells us that each day is like a bead on the necklace of our life. Some beads are smooth and beautiful, others are rough and challenging. But without every single bead, the necklace would be incomplete. Each day, regardless of its texture, is necessary for the wholeness of who you're becoming. As you breathe in appreciation for your resilience. As you breathe out, let gratitude for this day's journey expand through your entire body. Feel how this appreciation creates space in your chest, softens the muscles around your heart, and signals to your nervous system that it's safe to rest. Perhaps today brought moments of joy that you can appreciate. The warmth of morning coffee, a kind word from a friend, the simple miracle of your breath moving in and out without effort. Or maybe today was more challenging. Traffic that tested your patience, a conversation that didn't go well, responsibilities that felt overwhelming. Here's what the ancient wisdom knows. Both the smooth and rough moments served your growth. The comfortable moments reminded you of life's beauty. The difficult moments invited you to discover strength you didn't know you possessed. This gratitude practice works on a neurological level too. When you consistently end your day with appreciation, you're literally rewiring your brain to notice what's working rather than what's missing. You're training your mind to be a garden where peace can grow, 1, 0, rather than a battlefield where worry multiplies. Feel how speaking these words, even silently in your heart, "I am grateful for this day's journey," creates a sense of completion. It's like closing a book gently, with love for the story it contained. Not because the story was perfect, but because it was yours. It was real. It was lived. This completion is what allows your body to shift from the alertness of day into the receptivity of night. When you honor your day's journey with gratitude, you're telling your nervous system, "I am safe. I am held. I have done enough. I can rest now." Let's practice this together. Take a slow, deep breath, and as you exhale, either aloud or silently in your heart, speak these words. "I am grateful for this day's journey." Notice what happens in your body as you say this. Perhaps your shoulders settle a little deeper. Maybe your jaw softens. Your breathing might become even slower and more rhythmic. This is your body's way of saying thank you for choosing peace over struggle, completion over endless mental rehearsal. You don't need to analyze what you're grateful for. You don't need to make a list or convince yourself to feel something you don't feel. Simply rest in the recognition that this day was a journey, and journeys are meant to be honored, not judged. As we prepare to explore the second sacred line, 1, 0, carry this feeling of completion with you. Let it settle into your bones like warm honey. This is how healing happens, not through forcing or fixing, but through the gentle recognition of what is already whole within you. Notice how your body feels now. Perhaps a little softer than when we began. Maybe your breathing has naturally deepened. Your shoulders might have settled further away from your ears. This is what gratitude does to the nervous system. It signals safety. It creates space. It allows the day to be complete exactly as it was. As we move into the second sacred line, feel yourself sinking a little deeper into whatever is supporting you. The first line has prepared the ground of your being. Now we explore what it means to truly let go. Take one more slow breath with me. And as you exhale, notice how your body is already preparing for the gentle release that comes next. With each breath, you're moving further from the busy day and closer to the sacred rest that awaits. as you settle even deeper into this sacred space. The second line awaits your gentle attention. I release what no longer serves. Let me share with you one of the most beloved stories in all of Zen Buddhism. It speaks directly to the heart of this practice. Two monks were traveling together on a long journey. They came to a muddy river where a young woman stood stranded, 5, unable to cross safely. The older monk, despite his monastic vows about physical contact, gently lifted the woman and carried her across to the other side. He set her down safely and bid her farewell. The two monks continued walking in silence for several hours. Finally, the younger monk could contain himself no longer. "Brother," he said, "how could you touch that woman? Our vows forbid such contact." The older monk turned to him with the gentlest smile and replied, "I set her down at the river's edge hours ago. You are still carrying her." This story illuminates something profound about human nature. So often, we continue carrying burdens long after the moment that created them has passed. We carry conversations that hurt us, mistakes we made weeks ago, worries about things we cannot control. Not because we have to, but because we've forgotten how to set them down. The second sacred line is your permission to finally, gently, lovingly put down what you've been carrying unnecessarily. Imagine for a moment that you've been hiking all day with a heavy backpack. At first, the weight seemed manageable, but as the hours passed, your shoulders began to ache. Your back grew sore. Every step became more difficult. Now imagine someone saying to you, "You can take off that backpack now. You don't need to carry it anymore." Feel the relief of letting those straps slip from your shoulders. The lightness as the weight falls away. The freedom to stand up straight again. This is what the second sacred line offers you. You've been carrying emotional weight that you no longer need. Resentments that serve no purpose except to keep old wounds fresh. Regrets that change nothing about the past but steal peace from the present. Worries about futures that may never come to pass. Let me tell you about David, a father who discovered the power of this practice. Every night, he would lie awake, replaying arguments with his teenage son. He'd mentally rehearse what he should have said differently, how he could have been more patient. The guilt and frustration kept him tossing and turning for hours. When David learned to practice this second line, something shifted. Instead of carrying each day's parenting challenges into the night, he began to release them with intention. "I release what no longer serves," he would whisper. Not because he stopped caring about his relationship with his son, but because holding on to past mistakes wasn't helping either of them. This release created space for something beautiful. Instead of being caught in cycles of regret, David found himself more present with his son the next day. More patient, more able to respond wisely rather than react from old patterns. You see, 5 Releasing what no longer serves isn't about pretending difficult things didn't happen. It's not about forcing forgiveness before you're ready. It's about recognizing that carrying old pain, worry, or resentment serves no beneficial purpose in your life right now. In Zen Buddhism, there's a beautiful teaching about the river and the leaves. Imagine sitting by a flowing stream in autumn. Leaves fall into the water, some golden and beautiful, others brown and withered. The river doesn't try to hold on to the beautiful leaves or push away the ugly ones. It simply allows all leaves to flow downstream, trusting the natural process of letting go. Your consciousness can learn to be like this river. Thoughts of the day, pleasant and unpleasant memories, completed tasks and unfinished business, moments of joy and moments of difficulty, can all be allowed to flow through and pass away. As you breathe slowly and deeply now, imagine with each exhale that you're releasing something that no longer serves your peace. Maybe it's irritation from a traffic delay this morning. Perhaps it's disappointment about something that didn't go as planned. It could be worry about a conversation you need to have tomorrow. You don't need to analyze or understand what you're releasing. Simply set the intention to let go and trust that your deeper wisdom knows what needs to flow away. Feel how this release happens naturally when you stop gripping so tightly. It's like relaxing a clenched fist. The moment you stop holding on, your hand naturally opens. In the same way, when you stop gripping your experiences so tightly, they often shift toward greater peace all by themselves. This practice works with the body's natural wisdom. As you release mental and emotional burdens, you'll notice your physical body begins to let go as well. Muscles that have been tense start to soften. Your jaw might unclench. Your shoulders might drop even further. Your breathing may become slower and more rhythmic. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. But this doesn't mean we stop caring about people or outcomes. It means we love and care without the desperate clinging that causes pain. We hold our experiences lightly, like cupping water in our hands. Present with what is, but not grasping after what was or might be. Let's practice this together now. Take a slow, deep breath, and as you exhale, speak these words either aloud or silently in your heart. I release what no longer serves. Notice what arises for you. Maybe you feel a subtle shift in your body, perhaps a sense of space opening up around your heart. You might experience a gentle lightness, as if something you didn't even know you were carrying has been set down. This is your body's way of saying thank you for choosing freedom over bondage. 1, 0. Flow over stagnation, peace over struggle. Some nights, what you release might be obvious, a specific worry or frustration. Other nights, the release might feel more general, like clearing accumulated mental dust. Both are perfect. Trust the process and allow whatever wants to be released to flow away naturally. As we prepare to move into the third sacred line, rest in this growing sense of lightness. You are not the burdens you carry. You are not your worries or regrets. You are the spacious awareness that can hold all experiences and let them go when their time has passed. Feel yourself becoming more like that flowing river, present, peaceful, naturally releasing what is ready to be released. This is the gift of the second sacred line. This is how ancient wisdom prepares your heart for even deeper rest. Feel yourself sinking deeper into rest now. With each release, you've created more space for peace to fill you. Your body recognizes this lightness, this freedom from carrying what you no longer need. Notice how your breathing has become even slower, more natural, like gentle waves on a calm shore. Your muscles have softened in ways you might not have expected. This is what happens when we stop fighting against the flow of life. Now we journey to an even deeper place, to the stillness that has always lived within you. This stillness is not empty, but full of infinite peace. It's not something you need to create or achieve. It's something you need to remember and embrace. Take a slow breath with me, and as you exhale, prepare to discover your most sacred inner sanctuary. As you rest in this deepening peace, we arrive at the heart of all Buddhist wisdom. The third sacred line opens a doorway to your most fundamental nature. I embrace the stillness within. Let me share with you a story that has been told in Zen monasteries for centuries. In the mountains of ancient Japan, there lived a master known throughout the region for his extraordinary serenity. One autumn evening, as a fierce thunderstorm raged through the mountains, an anxious student approached him. The wind was howling, rain was pounding against the temple walls, and lightning illuminated the sky in brilliant flashes. "Master," the student called out over the noise, "how can you remain so calm when there's such chaos all around us?" The old master smiled and led the student to the temple courtyard, where an ancient stone well stood in the center. Despite the storm raging above, when they looked down into the well, the water in its depths remained perfectly still. "You see," the master said gently, "the storm touches only the surface. At depth, there is always stillness. You are like this well. No matter what storms rage in your mind or in the world around you, at your deepest level, you are always still." This story points to something profound about your true nature. Right now, as you lie here listening, your thoughts may be moving, your emotions may be shifting, your body may be settling. These are all like movements on the surface of the water. But beneath all of this activity, there exists a place of perfect stillness. In Buddhism, this stillness is called your Buddha nature, the unchanging awareness that witnesses all experience but is touched by none of it. You don't need to be Buddhist to access this stillness. It's not religious or mystical. It's as natural and intimate as your own breath. Let me tell you about Maria, a mother of 3 young children who discovered this truth. Her days were filled with constant noise. Children arguing, toys scattering, endless demands for attention. By evening, she felt completely frazzled, her mind racing even after the house finally grew quiet. When Maria learned to practice this 3rd sacred line, something remarkable happened. She began to recognize that even in the midst of chaos, there was a part of her that remained untouched by the noise. The part that could observe the chaos without becoming the chaos. The awareness that could witness her stress without being consumed by it. This wasn't about suppressing her feelings or pretending the challenges weren't real. It was about discovering that she was larger than any single experience. Like the sky that remains vast and open, whether it holds storm clouds or sunshine, her essential nature remained peaceful, regardless of what was happening around her. You see, this stillness within you is not the opposite of activity. It's the spacious awareness in which all activity arises. Think of it like the screen in a movie theater. All kinds of scenes can play across the screen. Action sequences, quiet moments, dramatic scenes. But the screen itself remains unchanged by whatever images appear on it. Your consciousness is like this screen. Thoughts, emotions, sensations, and experiences are like the movies that play across your awareness. But you, the one who is aware, remain untouched by the content of what you observe. As you breathe slowly and naturally now, see if you can sense this quality of awareness within yourself. Notice that you are aware of your breathing, but you are not the breath itself. You're aware of any thoughts that arise, but you are not the thoughts. You're aware of the comfort or sensations in your body, but you are something larger than any single sensation. This awareness, this witness, this observer, this is the stillness the 3rd sacred line invites you to embrace. In Zen tradition, there's a beautiful teaching about original mind. Before you learned language, before you developed preferences, before you created stories about who you are, there was this pure awareness. Clear, open, naturally peaceful. This original mind hasn't gone anywhere. It's simply been covered over by layers of conditioning and habit. The practice of embracing stillness is like gently brushing away these layers, revealing what has always been there. You don't have to create this stillness or achieve it through effort. You simply need to recognize and rest in what you already are. Feel how different this is from trying to quiet your mind through force. Instead of fighting against thoughts or pushing away emotions, you're learning to rest as the spacious awareness that can hold all experiences without being disturbed by them. This shift in identity, from the wave to the ocean, from the cloud to the sky, from the movie to the screen, is one of the most profound transformations possible. Suddenly, you realize you are much larger and more resilient than you imagined. Notice how right now, even as you listen to these words, there's a quality of effortless knowing present. You're not straining to understand. You're not working to be aware. Awareness is simply your natural state. This ease, this natural knowing, 0, 5, this is a taste of the stillness within. In this stillness, you discover something remarkable. You are already whole. You don't need to fix yourself or improve yourself to access peace. You don't need to have the perfect meditation or eliminate all stress. The peace you seek is the peace you are when you stop trying to be something else. Let's practice embracing this stillness together. Take a slow, gentle breath, and as you exhale, either whisper aloud or speak silently in your heart. I embrace the stillness within. Don't try to make anything happen. Simply rest in the intention to embrace what is already present. Notice that you don't have to search for this stillness. It's closer than your own breath, more intimate than your heartbeat. Feel how this recognition brings immediate relaxation. When you stop trying to create peace and instead embrace the peace you are, your whole being can finally rest. Your nervous system recognizes this as coming home. Some people worry that embracing stillness means becoming passive or disconnected from life. But the opposite is true. When you're rooted in this inner stillness, you can respond to life's challenges with greater wisdom and clarity. You can love more freely because you're not constantly defending a small sense of self. You can act more effectively because your actions arise from peace rather than reactive emotion. 2. 5. This stillness is your refuge, your sanctuary, your true home. It's available to you not just in meditation or before sleep, but in every moment of your life. In traffic jams and boardroom meetings, in joyful celebrations and difficult conversations, this stillness remains your constant companion. As we prepare to explore the fourth sacred line, rest in this recognition. You are not just someone seeking peace. You are peace itself, temporarily forgetting your true nature. This sacred line is simply a gentle reminder of what you've always been. Embrace this stillness now. Let it embrace you in return. Feel how it transforms your entire experience of resting here. You're not just preparing for sleep. You're coming home to yourself. From this place of profound stillness, something even more intimate begins to awaken. You've touched the spacious awareness that you are. Now we discover the wisdom that flows from your deepest knowing. Feel how the stillness you've embraced isn't empty or cold. It's alive with intelligence, warm with compassion, rich with understanding that transcends thought. This is the bridge between the vastness of pure awareness and the intimate knowing of your heart. In Zen tradition, we understand that true wisdom arises not from the analyzing mind, but from the direct knowing of the heart. Take a gentle breath, 1, 0, and as you exhale, place your hand softly over your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. This heart has been your faithful companion through every moment of your life. It holds a wisdom deeper than any book, more reliable than any external guidance. Prepare to discover what your heart has always known about trust. With your hand resting gently over your heart, we arrive at the fourth sacred line that has guided seekers for generations. I trust the wisdom of my heart. Let me share with you a story that illuminates this profound teaching. There once was a dedicated student who had spent years studying spiritual texts, attending lectures, and analyzing every aspect of enlightenment. He could quote ancient masters, explain complex philosophies, and debate the finest points of Buddhist doctrine. Yet despite all his knowledge, peace remained elusive. Frustrated and exhausted from his intellectual pursuits, he finally approached an elderly teacher. "Master," he said, "I have studied everything there is to know about awakening, but I still feel lost. What am I missing?" The old teacher listened with compassion, then gently placed her hand over her own heart. "My dear student," she said, "you have been reading about water while dying of thirst. All the books in the world cannot teach you the wetness of water. You must drink." "But how do I drink?" the student asked. The teacher smiled. "Stop reading about your heart and start listening to it. The wisdom you seek doesn't live in your head. It lives here," she said, gently tapping her chest. This story points to something revolutionary about how we find true guidance in life. For so long, we've been taught to trust our analytical minds above all else, to make lists of pros and cons, to seek advice from experts, to figure everything out logically. While the intellect certainly has its place, Buddhist wisdom recognizes that the deepest knowing comes from a different source entirely. Your heart, not just the physical organ, but the spiritual center of your being, holds an intelligence that operates beyond thought. It's the same intelligence that guides flowers to turn toward the sun, that tells birds when to migrate, that orchestrates the perfect timing of healing in your body. Let me tell you about Elena, a talented surgeon who discovered this wisdom in an unexpected way. For years, she had relied entirely on her medical training and analytical mind to make decisions. But during a particularly complex surgery, something unusual happened. Despite all the protocols and procedures she knew, she felt a strong inner pull to try a different approach. The rational part of her mind protested. This wasn't in any textbook, but something deeper, something she could only call heart wisdom, 5, insisted this was the right path. She trusted that knowing, and it saved her patient's life. From that day forward, Elena began to integrate both her medical knowledge and her intuitive wisdom. She discovered that the heart doesn't operate against logic. It operates from a more complete understanding that includes information the mind might miss. Your heart knows things your mind hasn't figured out yet. It knows which people feel genuinely safe and which don't, regardless of their credentials or reputation. It knows which opportunities align with your deepest purpose, even when they don't look perfect on paper. It knows when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to wait. In Zen tradition, this is called listening with the heart ear, perceiving with your deeper intuitive capacity rather than just your thinking mind. When you listen with your heart ear, you can hear the wisdom that speaks in silence, the guidance that comes through feeling rather than thinking. Feel your heartbeat now under your hand. This rhythm has been with you every moment of your life, never stopping, never questioning its purpose. Your heart doesn't analyze whether it should beat. It simply knows what to do and does it with perfect trust. In the same way, your inner heart knows what you need for your deepest well-being. It knows how to love unconditionally, how to forgive completely, 0, 5, how to find peace even in uncertainty. This isn't sentiment or emotion, though it includes those. This is a deeper knowing that arises from the intersection of wisdom and love. The heart's wisdom speaks differently than the mind's chatter. The mind often speaks in shoulds and have-tos and what-ifs. The heart speaks in attraction and repulsion, in expansion and contraction, in a sense of rightness or unease. When you're considering a choice that aligns with your heart's wisdom, you might feel a sense of opening in your chest, a feeling of energy or excitement, a quiet yes in your body. When something goes against this inner knowing, you might feel tight or contracted, drained or heavy. Your body is constantly offering you feedback about what serves your highest good. This wisdom guided you here tonight. Something in your heart knew you needed deeper rest, more peace, a way to settle the busy day. That wasn't your mind making a logical decision. That was your heart wisdom, calling you toward what would serve your well-being. Right now, as you prepare for sleep, your heart's wisdom is guiding this process too. It knows that your body needs time to repair and regenerate. It knows that your mind needs a break from processing and planning. It knows that your spirit needs to connect with deeper sources of nourishment. You don't have to force sleep to come. You can trust that your heart knows exactly what you need and is gently guiding you toward the perfect rest. There's a beautiful teaching in Buddhism about the difference between small mind and big mind. Small mind is the worried, analytical part that tries to control every outcome. Big mind is the vast awareness connected to the wisdom of all life. Your heart is the bridge between these two, translating the wisdom of big mind into guidance you can actually follow. When you trust your heart's wisdom, you're aligning yourself with forces much larger and more intelligent than your individual concerns. You're tapping into the same intelligence that moves the seasons, that heals wounds, that knows exactly when the sun should rise each morning. This trust doesn't mean ignoring practical considerations or abandoning common sense. It means consulting both your analytical mind and your heart wisdom, allowing them to work together rather than in opposition. The mind provides information. The heart provides meaning and direction. Let's practice trusting your heart's wisdom now. Take a slow, gentle breath, and as you exhale, speak these words either aloud or silently. I trust the wisdom of my heart. Notice what happens as you say this. You might feel a softening in your chest, a sense of coming home to yourself. Perhaps there's a quality of relief, as if some part of you has been waiting to be acknowledged and trusted. Your heart has been offering you guidance all along, even when you've been too busy or worried to listen. It has never stopped loving you, never stopped believing in your capacity for peace, never stopped knowing what would truly serve your happiness. Some nights, your heart's wisdom might whisper that you need extra gentleness with yourself. Other nights, it might remind you of your strength and resilience. Tonight, listen to what it's telling you about rest, about letting go, about allowing yourself to be held by something greater than your individual will. This trust becomes a foundation of unshakable peace. No matter what storms arise in your external life, you have this inner compass that always points toward your true north. No matter how uncertain the future may seem, you can trust that your heart will guide you moment by moment toward what serves your highest good. As we prepare to explore the final sacred line, rest in this trust. Feel how it creates a sense of safety that allows even deeper letting go. You don't have to figure out your whole life tonight. You simply need to trust the wisdom that already lives within you. Your heart knows the way to peace. It has always known. Tonight, let it guide you home. You're approaching the deepest peace possible. Feel how the journey through these sacred lines has transformed your entire being. 1, 0. Your body has settled into profound rest. Your mind has found its natural quietude. Your heart has opened to its own wisdom. This transformation didn't require force or struggle. It happened through gentle recognition, through remembering what you already knew, through trusting what was already present within you. Now we arrive at the final sacred line, the one that brings everything together into perfect wholeness. This line doesn't ask you to become anything different. It invites you to be completely at peace with exactly who and where you are right now. Take a gentle breath and prepare to discover what the ancient masters knew about ultimate acceptance. This is the gateway to the most profound rest imaginable. We now arrive at the culmination of this sacred practice, the line that encompasses all the others and guides you into the deepest possible peace. I am at peace with all that island. let me share with you one final story from the ancient wisdom tradition. In a monastery garden, there grew a magnificent tree that had been struck by lightning years before. Half of it was blackened and appeared dead, while the other half flourished with green leaves and blossoms. Visitors would often comment on this tree, some calling it ugly and damaged, others finding beauty in its resilience. One day, a troubled student approached the master and pointed to the tree. "Master," he said, 5, "shouldn't we cut down the dead part? It spoils the beauty of the garden." The old master smiled and sat beneath the tree's mixed shadow. "This tree teaches the greatest wisdom," he said. "It shows us that life contains both death and renewal, both shadow and light. When I am at peace with all that this tree is, its scars and its beauty, I discover perfect acceptance. This acceptance doesn't deny the reality of damage. It embraces the wholeness that includes everything." This story illuminates the profound truth of the fifth sacred line. Being at peace with all that is doesn't mean becoming passive or pretending everything is perfect. It means developing the capacity to be okay with life as it actually unfolds, including the parts that challenge us. Your life, like that tree, contains both beautiful and difficult elements. Moments of joy alongside experiences of loss. Times of clarity mixed with periods of confusion. Relationships that nourish you and others that disappoint you. The ancient Buddhist teaching reminds us that suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from our resistance to what happens to us. When we fight against reality as our starting point, we create additional layers of struggle on top of whatever difficulty we're already facing. Tonight, as you rest in this growing peace, you have the opportunity to practice the most radical acceptance possible. Not because everything in your life is perfect, but because you can be whole regardless of what your life contains. Perhaps today brought unexpected challenges. Maybe there are ongoing situations you wish were different. Your body might not feel exactly as you'd like it to feel. Your emotions may not be perfectly peaceful. Right now, in this moment, you can practice being at peace with exactly what is present. This acceptance works like opening a clenched fist. The moment you stop gripping your experience so tightly, trying to make it different, it often begins to shift naturally toward greater ease. Not because you forced it to change, but because resistance was what was keeping it stuck. Being at peace with all that also means being at peace with yourself, exactly as you are right now. Maybe you don't feel like the most patient person today. Perhaps you made mistakes or said things you wish you could take back. You might be carrying physical tension or emotional heaviness. All of this is part of what I learned. You don't have to fix yourself before you can be at peace. In Buddhist understanding, this acceptance is actually the foundation of all genuine transformation. When you stop arguing with reality, you free up enormous energy that was being used in resistance. This energy can then be channeled toward wise and loving action. Feel how being at peace with all that is affects your physical body right now. When you stop fighting against your current experience, your muscles naturally begin to soften. Your breathing deepens and slows. Your nervous system receives the message that it's safe to rest completely. Let's practice this final sacred line together. Take a slow, gentle breath, and as you exhale, speak these words with your whole being. I am at peace with all that island. Notice what happens as you speak this line. Perhaps there's a deep settling throughout your entire body. Maybe a sense of coming home to yourself exactly as you are. You might experience a profound letting go, as if some part of you that's been holding its breath can finally exhale. This peace with all that is becomes your pathway into the most restorative sleep. When you're not carrying the tension of resistance, when you're not using mental energy to fight reality, sleep comes as naturally as night follows day. Your body recognizes this state of non-resistance as the perfect condition for healing and regeneration. Your mind, no longer tasked with changing what cannot be changed, can finally rest completely. In this complete acceptance, you discover that you were never actually separate from the peace you've been seeking. Peace is not something you achieve or attain. It's what remains when you stop disturbing your natural state with resistance and struggle. Rest now in this recognition. You are at peace with all that island, all that was, all that will be. This peace is your doorway into the sacred rest that heals and renews your entire being. Now that you've journeyed through each sacred line individually, let's weave them together into one complete practice. This is how the ancient monks would end their day, speaking all 5 lines as a unified prayer for peace. As I guide you through each line, speak them with me, either in a gentle whisper or silently in your heart. Let each word carry the weight of all the understanding we've discovered together tonight. Take a slow, deep breath to begin. First, sacred line. I am grateful for this day's journey. Feel the completion that comes with honoring everything this day has brought you. The lessons learned, the love shared, the challenges that strengthened you. Let this gratitude settle into your bones like warm honey. Second sacred line. I release what no longer serves. With each exhale, feel yourself letting go of whatever burdens you've been carrying unnecessarily. Old worries, lingering tensions, anything that prevents your natural peace from flowing freely. Feel the lightness as these weights fall away. Third sacred line. I embrace the stillness within. Turn your attention to the vast, peaceful awareness that you are. This stillness that has witnessed every moment of your life with perfect equanimity. Rest in this recognition of your deepest nature. You are the eternal sky in which all experiences arise and pass away. Fourth sacred line. I trust the wisdom of my heart. Feel your hand over your heart and acknowledge the faithful intelligence that beats within you. This heart that knows how to love, how to heal, how to guide you toward what truly serves your well-being. Trust its guidance as you prepare for rest. Fifth sacred line. I am at peace with all that island. Let this final line wash over you like a gentle tide. Nothing needs to be different for you to be completely okay right now. You can rest in perfect acceptance of this moment, this breath, this body, this life, exactly as it island. Now, as these 5 sacred lines settle into your consciousness, notice how your entire being has transformed. Your body rests in profound peace. Your mind has found its natural quietude. Your heart is open and trusting. Your spirit recognizes its eternal nature. This is how the ancients prepared for sacred sleep. Not as unconsciousness, but as conscious rest in the arms of the divine. Sleep now in this recognition. Rest in this peace. You are held by the same love that moves the stars and grows the flowers. May your sleep be deep and restorative. May you wake refreshed and renewed. May these sacred lines become your nightly companions on the journey home to peace. From all of us at Echoes of Dharma, thank you for sharing this sacred time together. Sweet dreams.